The secret's out, Kwab. The secret is out.
What
Everybody knows.
What?
Everybody knows now.
What was the secret?
And we didn't even know. We thought we knew, but we didn't know to the extent that we thought we knew.
Okay.
The Pacers are really freaking good, man.
You know this is what happens when you have the most overrated player in the league. Whoever voted this man, like you, this is your
It's
fault.
hate. It's hate, man.
It's hate. It's hate.
You know what it is? If I'm being honest with you, the NBA. This is like, I'm not even going to use that phrase, but I'm going to use something to describe it. You got a bunch of tough guys playing in a league where you're supposed to be tough, and the guy who's busting your ass looks like he could be in a boy band, and he acts like he could be in a boy band, and you don't like it.
He's
And
just
he's
having,
nice, and he's
he's
nasty,
having a,
and, and
he's
he's
having a
not
good time.
his jumper's ugly, bro. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but it goes fucking.
He's
It goes
having a good
in,
time.
bro.
He's having a good time, and he's killing y'all, man.
Yep,
Yep.
and I think that's just what it is. They don't like him as a personality. He's
Which is
not
terrible.
cool. He's not calm. He's not like Dame Lillard, who's kind of just like stoic and like chill and a rapper. He's goofy, and his shot is ugly, and he smiles.
Hey, man.
They don't like it.
Shot can be ugly, man. If it's going in, it's going in, brother. Like, that's all that matters.
All right, let's get to the box score. The Pacers beat the Cavs 114-105, win the series 4-1. Haliburton 31-8-6, Siakam 21-8, Andrew Nembhard 18-6, Donovan Mitchell 35-9, but it was awful from the field. Evan Mobley 24-11, DeAndre Hunter 12 points, 5 rebounds. Let's start with the Pacers. They won the game, man. I mean, just again, it's funny. I've been fighting. I don't know if you know, Kwab.
You be fighting with the Pacers fans online? Is that
Bro,
what you're going to say?
They listen. I think they come in for a video and they're like, "You guys switched up. It's funny how narratives change." It's like, yo, if you listen to this show or even the preview, we've said this is a really good Pacers team. It's a very good Pacers team. Now, do we have to own the fact that they lost and we picked the Cavs? The Cavs lost? Yeah, we picked the Cavs in 6.
It's fine. It happens.
I'm so disappointed in the Cavs, man. They had. Listen,
Okay.
I don't want to veer too off to the Cavs right now. I'll just say this one sentence. We'll go back to the Pacers.
Yeah.
But they had these doubters. They were, it's the Cavs, same old Cavs. Are we supposed to believe in these Cavs? And we watched a lot of Cavs games this year. And we're like, this team is different, man. Mobley's playing different. He's initiating offense. Kenny Atkinson has these guys playing differently. And it comes to this series, and I know there are a lot of extenuating circumstances, like Donovan's hurt, Garland's hurt. They didn't really get rhythm going. But to go out in 5 like this, not win a game at home as the 1 seed, is disappointing. Get to that later. Shout out to the Pacers. Listen, if you watch the dime, you know what I'm about to say. It goes back to that night in Miami when I watched them play the Heat.
Facts.
And this was, I think, in December. And I texted Kwab in the middle of the game, like, yo, the Pacers are really freaking good. Like,
you said you're
records,
for real. You said you're for real.
And they were like below 500, maybe at 500 at this point. Jimmy Butler was still on the Heat, for reference. I actually tweeted during that game, I think this might be Jimmy Butler's last game as a member of the Miami Heat.
You did. Yeah, I remember that.
So it was like during that time. But I was watching the game, and I was just like, yo, like, how are these guys like 500? This does not make any sense to me. They got off to a slower start. I think they're 45-15 in their last 60 games, which is absolutely insane. But again, like, just the way they play offense is exactly how a modern-day offense should be played. They push the basketball. They immediately find a mismatch if it's there. They get to it right away. They run a pick-and-roll game with Haliburton, who's probably the best or one of the best pick-and-roll creators, in the game. He can shoot the 3. Everybody can shoot. They can spread the floor. They can all, for the most part, put the ball on the floor. There's no ego. Get the defense in rotation, whip the ball around, shoot the open shot. Very rarely does this team take a selfish shot. Very rarely. And it's just fantastic, beautiful offensive basketball. And for, the large portion of last year, that's what they were known for, but they were also known as a team that can just do that. Well, they just don't do that. They're a fantastic defensive team with fantastic perimeter defenders. And to me, that was a difference in the whole series, was that the Pacers guards and the Pacers offense could penetrate the paint at will, whereas the Cavs just had a hard time bringing the ball up the court sometimes. They couldn't initiate offense. They couldn't get in the paint. They couldn't get the Pacers in rotation. And today, when they did, they just couldn't hit threes. They couldn't hit anything. A lot of that was the Pacers' defense, but a lot of that was also them just missing open threes. Donovan Mitchell had an awful shooting game, missed huge free throws down the stretch. just overall, man, the Pacers, they were the better team. They're the better team. Just
Yeah.
tip your cap.
No, I mean, yeah, they were the better team in the series, and this was the outcome of it. I think that the people that have been in the comments that you've been arguing with, I find it hilarious because you've been on the train of giving the Pacers props all season, like all season.
I wasn't on the
Especially
train though that they'd win this series. I get it. I kind of get it.
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
get
picked
it.
against us. Yeah.
I get it. But this is when we make picks, we make an educated guess, and if we're wrong, we're wrong. We're not the type to be like, oh no. The Pacers came out and showed why they're one of the best teams in the East from start to finish. The thing about Indiana that I've said like previous games was when they come out the right way, and Tyrese is aggressive, they're unstoppable. It feels like they're unstoppable. Like to me, this series could have been done 4-0. Like honestly, but the first home game they kind of came out flat. This game they kind of started off a little bit flat until the second half of the second quarter when they were able to cut into the lead. And then after halftime, it just felt like I was watching the Pacers offense and I was watching the Pacers team on both sides.
Yeah.
To your point that you've said again many times, like they're a really good defensive team. And they're anchored by Miles Turner, who's always been a great shot blocker. But their perimeter defense is just on point. And on top of that, you have these wings that can shoot and can drive. Like you said, the best modern day offense that you've been saying this so many episodes where you're like, if you were to bring down an alien and they would ask, hey yo, what does the typical or the modern day NBA offense look like? You would pick the Pacers out of all the teams in the NBA. Mm-hmm. And to me, when the engine of the team plays like this, they're unstoppable. When Tyrese plays, when he's aggressive and he plays like this, they're unstoppable. Like the other game, the game they lost where he was kind of like. Yeah, he allowed the Cavs to like face guard him and he wasn't aggressive and he wasn't assertive. They were able to win before, but when he plays like this, and I know one of his best asset that everybody says is his passing because he's one of the best passers in the league, but he's also a very efficient scorer. Like shoot, regardless of how people think how ugly his shot is, it goes in. He can also get to the rim. He had so many moments this game where he was either getting to the rim, he had a dunk and end one when the Cavs were making a comeback, and it led him to this victory. Also, a big factor in this series was also Nembhard. Nembhard has been playing well all series, defensively and offensively, and to when he's hitting perimeter shots too, like the team is out of here.
Hold on. Also, Nembhard, too, when they're face guarding Tyrese, the Pacers are comfortable putting the ball in Nembhard's hands and just having him pick and roll and run the offense, too. Which is
good
huge,
call.
because a lot of teams don't do that. Like, I'm a Knicks fan. If Jalen Brunson doesn't have the ball on half court, like, the team panics. They don't know what to do. And the Pacers just like, okay, you're going to face guard Tyrese. Well, maybe we'll run him off a screen. And if he doesn't get it, okay, Andrew, go run a pick and roll with Turner or Siakam. Let's see what happens. And they're fine with it.
Yeah, I think I remember you said that you made that point too. The first couple of games, how they were comfortable running the offense through Nembhard, and he was getting to his spots off the screen and rolls, and rising up for the mid range. Like it's great series by the Pacers, man. I feel like they're a deeper team than a lot of people give them credit for, and that's from all positions. Their front court and their back court, and they weren't favored in this series because to go into the Cavs, like Cavs had been amazing all year with like you have the coach of the year, defensive player of the year. Donovan Mitchell is probably going to be first all team or second all team, all NBA. Like so a lot of people had him, including us, were like, yo, we think the Cavs can win this series. But and the big but was like, if the Pacers win the series, we're not going to be shocked.
Yeah.
We're just because we like the Pacers. And again, I said the last video we did on this series. We're not shocked that Pacers are winning. We're shocked how badly they've been whooping the Cavs because the Cavs have been better than this.
I'm more shocked at how the Cavs have played. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I just don't think the Cavs played well at all, and a lot of that, to be fair and objective, Donovan was hurt today. I mean, I don't know what was going on with him aside from that. Garland was hurt all series. Mobley didn't play so. Yeah, maybe they're banged up, but everybody's banged up, man.
Everybody's banged up. Yeah.
Everybody's banged up to a certain extent, and they just could not. I just can't believe that they couldn't get anything going. And they had no answers for the Pacers offense. Outside of they had two answers. They had the high 3-2 zone with Mobley, which the Pacers took one game to figure out, and that was it.
And they were like, okay, we got it.
Yeah, and the other answer was we're going to face guard Tyrese Haliburton forever. And even that kind of worked, but not really, because you shut down Tyrese, and so you're kind of shutting him down and his impact during the game. But the Pacers didn't have too much trouble scoring the basketball, even with the face guarding of Tyrese. You just kind of took Tyrese out the game. So once they figured out that high 3-2 zone, you screen Mobley, we kind of roll in the paint. It was over. It was over. Yeah. The series was over after that. Kenny Atkinson, tried to blitz Tyrese today. All that does is create a 4-on-3 disadvantage with Pascal Siakam with the basketball driving at you. Good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Yeah, and also it just creates a numbers game for the Pacers where they can just whip the ball around and shoot open threes. And they're not going to have many games where they're missing.
Yeah.
But for me, man, I loved this Cavs team. We have some Cavs fans here who have been watching us all season, and we loved. I loved this team genuinely. I liked watching them play. We did a lot of reviews on Cavs games, and I thought this team was not going to fold like this. I thought this was a different Cavs team. I thought that, in the past years where they failed in the playoffs, I didn't look at it as like same old Cavs, they hit their ceiling. I looked at it as like, this is just a team that's growing. This is a team that gets knocked out in the first round, gets knocked out in the second round, and now this is their time to shine in the Eastern Conference. And I looked at them as the biggest threats to the Boston Celtics in the playoffs. And it just wasn't the case. For whatever reason. You could say injuries, you can say whatever you want. You could say matchup. You can say whatever you want. The fact is, this team did not show up in the way that Cavs fans and we thought they would. We didn't pick the Cavs in 6 because we thought the Pacers sucked. We picked the Cavs in 6 because we thought the Cavs were really freaking good. And they are. They just didn't play that way.
They just didn't play like you didn't get the same contributions you got from everybody. Like Ty Jerome, it lost money because of this series.
Yeah, like millions of dollars.
Like millions, lost money because of this series, which is crazy. But again, like we give credit to the Pacers came out and did what they're supposed to do. Moving forward, let's start with the Pacers. Actually, no, let's start with the Cavs. What do the Cavs do from here? Like,
I think they were as they are now. I think they are constructed beautifully. I do.
Yeah.
I think you have a big guy in Allen who can hold his own on the perimeter. He did okay at best against Haliburton in this series, but can grab boards, can defend the rim. Same with Mobley, defensive player of the year, big guy who can now stretch the floor and can handle the rock now, getting better, initiate offense from the perimeter. You have your star in Donovan Mitchell. You have a point guard in Darius Garland who's an all-star caliber player. You have a bench that goes deep. You have defenders, Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade, who if you need to put him in, they are constructed very well. They are. So and I don't know. I don't know. DeAndre Hunter was a fantastic addition. He didn't have a great series up until today. He had a good game today, but I genuinely don't know. I don't know.
So you think it's just a scenario where they you just fix your wounds and try to come back? Because you said, they're put together really, really well, and the East is going to look a little bit strange next year too.
Oh yeah, the Celtics with Tatum's injury, I don't know what that's going to look like. The Pacers, I don't know what their cap situation is. I don't know what their contract situation is, but let's just say hypothetically they come back. I think the Pacers are probably going to be the favorite to win the East. Honestly, I think we don't know what's happening with the Knicks-Celtics series. I'm knocking on wood here because I've seen this Knicks team blow games a lot this year. Yeah. So I don't think that series is over, but I do think, my early gut prediction is that the Pacers are probably going to be favored against the Knicks if they see the Knicks. And if the Celtics pull off a 3-1 comeback, I still think I would take the Pacers as favorites over the Celtics without Tatum. Yeah, so it wouldn't surprise me going into next year. Everyone looks at the Pacers as the number 1 seed in the East and the team to catch in the East, whether or not they win or lose the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, I agree with you because I feel like the Pacers, especially the way they've shown their style of play, and when they play Pacers basketball, they've looked like head above water, the best team in the East. I don't, regardless of who they face, if it's the Knicks, I think it's the Knicks, knock on wood for you. If it's the Knicks, I think that's awesome that we have, it would be a Knicks-Pacers, Eastern Conference Final, just a throwback.
94, baby.
Which is fucking dope. But to me, the Pacers would be favored would be favored in that. Even
I
with
think
that
I
series.
think the sports books would favor the Knicks. I think the general public would favor the Pacers. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
I
that
think
makes sense.
I think during the series prices it might be like Knicks minus 180, but I think most of the people are going to take the Pacers, especially if
Yeah.
you can get them at plus odds. Shit, I might.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I just think like I've said before. I think that if you get this Pacers team playing the right way in terms of Tyrese is being aggressive, they're getting stops, playing with pace. Even when they don't get stops, they just play with just the pace they play with. It's just hard to guard
Yeah.
for the course of a whole game. They're just hard to beat. Like we said before, the Pacers were the only team last year that when the Celtics talked about, they talked about with fear.
Yeah.
Like legit fear.
Like
They
they
were
turn
like
up like a campfire like story, like a scary story.
a scary story. Like and they won won the
swept.
series, but there were so many moments. If you go back, I remember when we were watching that series last year against the Celtics. There were so many moments that the Pacers, so many games, a couple of games here and there that the Pacers could have won, but just funky shit happened and it didn't work out that way. So like I think they were saying on the broadcast how Tyrese was very focused on how he wanted to make sure to make a point that last year wasn't a fluke, because a lot of people felt like it was a fluke for them how far they got. So he's been concerned all season or just focused on season on making sure like last year wasn't a fluke. So they're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's back to back years, and happy for the Pacers fans. I know you guys somehow you don't believe that, but happy for the Pacers fans, man. It's awesome. Yes, like we both love the Cavs team because like watching them all year, fun to watch, just offensively, defensively, and to me the Pacers took them out of everything. Like
The Cavs didn't look like themselves
at all. And
Yeah.
that's credit to the Pacers defense. And we talked about how good the Pacers defense is. Like the start of the game, going back, the start of the game, they were getting whatever the Cavs were scoring effectively inside. And Pacers were able to take that away. And then the Cavs decided to shoot more perimeter shots. And like with the type of defenders the Pacers have, good luck. Good luck with that, man.
All right, listen, that's going to do it for our Game 5 recap of the Pacers and Cavs. The Pacers are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. They defeat the Cavs in this series 4-1. If you want to follow the Dime, you can everywhere at the Dime NBA. I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab, a.k.a. Yes. We'll see you next time for another game recap with the Dime. Peace.